Okay, Star Wars Paladin here, kind of between games, but I wanted to talk about this because this was really interesting. I was talking to Keroseen about how they knew the other side wasn't geared, because they weren't. They had tons and tons of life and stats, but they couldn't do any damage. Apparently one of the tanks had 45k life. Apparently like 35 to 38k is the max. As you look, I'm almost completely geared and I only have 30, so I didn't even realize that. Kerosene also says the Marauder didn't have augments or full PvP gear, and I said, how can you tell? And I said, full PvP gear, no augments is about 28,000 life, or 27,000. No PvP is 26 to 25, maybe even 23. And what that what that basically means. Oh, there's more. Goodness gracious. Marauders and Sentinels have the lowest of them all, 30,000, augmented and all if they're using max power, which is 1500, to obtain the 850 bonus damage with ranked gear. Mars and Sentinels can have 32 to 31. Dot trace and Mars. So, what they mean is, unless you're rolling with ops level gear outside of it, what happens is when you zone in, the bolster blasts your stats through the roof, but it normalizes your expertise. And if you have a partial expertise suit, it actually lowers your expertise a little bit. So you end up, if you don't have any expertise or you only have partial expertise, you end up with super high stats. Like impossible stats that you'll never get in PvP. Now, it's harder to, and this is why I asked, it's harder to notice if they have lower gear. Like, let's say you're like my helm and you only have like the blue 66s, which is the 28. What happens is you end up with a lot lower stats than you should have. You end up with a lot lower stats, and that's why like Marauders are just so painful to start out, because you're like frontline medium armored melee, and you're just getting destroyed because you don't have the hit points yet. But even when your hit points absolutely max out, you might have 30,000. I know Extremist doesn't have that much. It's more like this. It's more like maybe he's at 28. But if you're just rolling with the blue 66, like, and that's fairly good gear. It's enough to do all the normal content. But if you try to PvP, you end up with about 23,000 life, and you don't have a lot for it to bolster off of. So, yeah. That's just, I thought that was good. I thought that was good info. I don't really have much to add to that, except that I think that's really good, especially in Arena, since you can just sit there and look through their stats. So I'm going to just stop this video here. I just wanted to explain all that, and thank you, and talk to you later, bye.